Look, I was born right here in New York City, 1975, in the shadows of old Yankee Stadium, the house that Babe Ruth built. And I come from humble beginnings. And, we were lifelong renters. And as a young man, I said, boy, if I can ever trade places with a landlord, I will. Because we had to move every 18 months. And that kind of inspired me to one day be on the other side of that trade. And I had an opportunity about 10 years later, in my early 20s, and is when I made my first real estate investment. And it was just a small duplex, and then we sold that for double, and we did it again and again. And now over the last 25 years, we've acquired more than 20,000 keys, multifamily, and it's been a good business.
It definitely has. You've looked up to people like Warren Buffett, to Magic Johnson. What's some of the best advice they've given you, or something that sticks out in your head?
I think what Warren Buffett has taught me is, stay in your circle of competence, right? Don't be wide and shallow, go narrow and deep. And what are the 2 or 3 things you do really good that you have a competitive advantage? And then when I was playing, he would say 2 things: be the best baseball player you can be, and be a gentleman, because reputation is everything.
There you go.
Yeah.
Words to remember. So you expanded beyond real estate. Your portfolio has grown so much. What do you look for in an opportunity?
Well, the one constant today is change, and things are changing faster than ever. When you look at AI and how it's transforming business, some for the good, some for the bad. But we do 3 things at A-Rod Corp. We do real estate, which is our legacy business. We do sports. We own our 2 franchises in Minnesota, the Timberwolves and the Minnesota Lynx. And then we own part of about 30, 35 companies in which we made investments, most of them minority, some majority. But we look at companies that we have an opportunity to help more than just our capital. Do we have a great passion for it? Do we understand it? And can we actually bring value to the founders? And that's really what we think about it. And obviously we want to buy at the right price and buy really good businesses.
Now, you've had so much success, but you've also had some setbacks, and you've been very open about it. Your docuseries, Alex versus A-Rod, incredible series. You really opened up in there. Even maybe there were some business transactions that didn't go quite the way you wanted. How do you handle those setbacks, or what lessons have you learned from them?
Well, I think, look, when I just turned 50, right? And when you've been around a while, hindsight's always easier to go back and go, oh, I wish I didn't make that decision or that decision. But I think you have to lead with it. And, my mistakes, whether it's been in baseball or anything else, where I used to be ashamed of it, now I've had a great opportunity to turn the lens inward, do a tremendous amount of work over the last 10 or 15 years, and I lead with it now. And I just lay all the cards on the table. But learning from your mistakes and then being able to play offense in the future, it's worked well for me.
Excellent. Yankees opening day around the corner. What does this current team have? Does it have the DNA to be a championship team, or maybe what are they missing?
Well, I think they're going to get some health back. Garrett Cole coming back is huge. It comes down to a few things. It comes down to great pitching, good defense, situational hitting. Obviously, the Aaron Judge elephant in the room is he's 34, so that window starts closing at some point. So if you're the Yankees and you're the fan base, you want to capitalize on one of the greatest players of our generation to be able to collect a world title. And the key is, as you get to October and right before the playoffs, is I call it the 2 H's. You want to be healthy and you want to be hot. And hopefully they can do that this year.
What do you think about robot umpires entering the season this year? What's your take on it? How is it going to change the game?
You can make an argument that it can make it better, right? But I'm a big proponent for umpires. I think umpires are, in many ways, they're underpaid, they're underutilized, and underappreciated. If you think about an umpire or referee in sports, you have 9 players from each team screaming at you. You have both managers. You have 2 catchers that are not happy. You have hitters that are not happy. But at the end of the day, when you have some of the great umpires that I've been around and I've been fortunate to work with, and I can think of over a dozen of them, they make the game better. They control the pace of the game. They're a big part of the game, and I just think we can't really forget how important they are, because it's still a human game played by humans.
Yeah, they get a bad rap.
I think so, and they're very, very good. If you think about an umpire who may have to call 300 balls and strikes, and you miss 5, they're going to scream at you for 50, right? So I'm a big believer in umpires. I'm a little bit old school there.
Okay. Let's take you from baseball to basketball. You joined the ownership team behind Minnesota Timberwolves, the Minnesota Lynx. The landscape is changing for sports management, ownership, kind of going away from the family-owned business. How do you think, I mean, big money involved as well. How do you think it's going to impact sports, or particularly the sports fans?
Which part? That the fact that you have institutional capital coming in?
Correct.
Well, it's interesting because, this happened a little bit after COVID. And I remember Sixth Street made a big investment into the San Antonio Spurs, and that was like a big wow moment. I think it's a great tool. I think you still have to have guardrails, but I think so far for the NBA it's worked really well. NFL's now dipping their toe in where you can buy 10% from institutional capital. That's also going to be very interesting to watch. And I think for baseball, where it is right before a big collective bargaining agreement negotiation, it'll be interesting because I do think that right now, I'm a contrarian by nature, is the best time to invest into a baseball team because of all the unanswered questions. Is very fluid right now. People don't know what's going to happen with the CBA. Are you going to strike? Are you not going to strike? There's a lot of moving parts. What happens with regional sports networks? Is Rob Manfred going to try to bundle them, all of them, just like Roger Goodell has in the NFL, and it's worked out beautifully for them? So because there's so many questions, it's a good time to buy at a pretty decent multiple.
And there's been a lot going on in Minnesota itself. I mean, you've had the ICE agents on the streets. How do you talk to the team about this? Because obviously they're going through a lot mentally as well through all this.
Yeah, it's a very, very sad time in Minnesota for the people there that have to endure so much. The one great thing about sports, it's the time that we can all agree that we can all wear the color blue for the Timberwolves, or purple, or whatever color we're wearing that night. Yeah. And it unifies people. We have 20,000 people every night at our game. We have a game tonight, and it's just great when you have 20,000 people cheering for one team, smiling, hugging, not asking political questions, not caring about political issues, but really caring about, can the Timberwolves win tonight? Can Anthony Edwards score 35 points? And I think the Timberwolves and the Lynx have been a uniter and really a great medicine for the people of Minneapolis.
And I have to talk about the deal. Jason Kelly, your partner in this. Yeah. What can we expect for the next season?
Well, we have some incredible guests, which we're not ready to announce yet, but the first 3 seasons have been really great. Jason Kelly has been a dream partner. He's a great quarterback. I call him Tom Brady.
Nice.
And we have a lot of fun. We have some incredible guests. And now we're having really, really prominent people calling us to say, hey, can we go get on the deal? Which is really exciting for us.
Have you learned anything from this show, business-wise?
Oh, I've learned so much. I mean, really it's a masterclass. When you see the type of people, both men and women, from all walks of life, from all walks of fields of business and sports, they just give you some incredible gems, some great nuggets. And if you're young entrepreneurs, must watch TV because you can learn so much in a matter of 30 or 45 minutes.